In the meantime, Abia State Governor Otti has dismissed reports suggesting that he is planning to defect to the All Progressive Congress from the Labour Party. In a statement issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ferdinand Ekeoma, the governor clarified that he neither held any meeting with Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma nor discussed plans to join the APC. He explained that following the National Economic Council meeting on Thursday, April 24th, Governor Otti, alongside few of his colleagues, had attended the birthday celebration of Governor Uzodinma's twin daughters, a purely social event unconnected to politics. To discuss these defections and suggestions that the country is moving towards a one-party state, I'm joined now by Public Affairs Analyst Femi Lawson. Femi, thank you very much for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
What implications are there for this defection of a state governor and the entire PDP structure in Delta State to the APC for Nigeria's political landscape?
Well, I think we must place this correctly, that even though Governor Sheriff Oboreri and his political godfather, former Governor Ekeoma, has decided to pitch their tent with the APC in Delta State, I don't think this totally means that the entire PDP structure in Delta State has collapsed into the APC. For me, and for anyone who have studied the political trajectory of our country, particularly since 2003 till now, you want to agree with me that this is more about the individual ambition of politicians rather than the interest of the state. Mr. Sheriff has every right, especially as guaranteed by the Constitution, to freely associate under the freedom of association guaranteed by the Constitution.
Mr. Lawson, your submission sort of contradicts what the governor said. I mean, both the governor and the former governor said publicly that the defection was nothing personal. It was for the interest of the state and the good of the state. So it had no personal...
There is nothing like the interest of the state when the Constitution, the ground norm, clearly dictates that any elected official, the State Assembly, National Assembly, including governor, who vacate this. Sheriff Oboreri was not on the ballot during the governorship election, in Delta in 2023. It was his party, the PDP, that was on the ballot. So that a man who secured the mandate of the people of Delta State on the platform of the PDP now decided in his own wisdom to jump the ship to another party where there was no issue, means that a lot of our politicians do not give regard to the political parties on the platform of which they are elected. And it is very sad. Today it is, this was the same thing the PDP did, coercing governors from the opposition party into his party, coercing members of the into his party while it was in power in 16 years. Now it is playing back on the PDP because there is no justification under the law for Governor Sheriff to have dropped the party that the people of Delta State voted for his party. No, Sheriff was not on the ballot, but today he is a member of the APC.
Mr. Lawson, not to be controversial here, but some persons have said it's now like a culture. There was a time the PDP was everybody's new bride. Everybody was defecting to the PDP. Now, the PDP no longer serves them. They're going to the APC. Wouldn't you say that it is some sort of progression for them to want to look for the best option to improve the lives of the people of Delta?
No, like I told you, I mentioned what you just said now. The PDP is the architect of whatever is defective about our democracy in Nigeria today. When we talk about the politics of coercion, we talk about the politics of intimidation, we talk about the politics of even manipulation. PDP started it all. So PDP is paying the price of what it initiated in Nigeria today. That nonetheless, we cannot but clearly state that this is not about the people of Delta State. It is not because the federal government is not taking projects to Delta State. It's not because the federal government is not paying allocations to Delta State. It's about the ambition of few individuals, particularly the governor of Delta State, who feels the APC is a more veritable platform for him to return to the office, especially when there are clear indications that he's woefully performing as the governor of Delta State. So for me, it is not about politics of ideology. This is not about principle. This is not even about discipline. It's about individuals who are just desperate to remain in office.
All right, Mr. Lawson.
I want to ride on the popularity of the current administration.
All right, Mr. Lawson, I'll come back to you in a bit. I understand we have our second guest for this conversation. He's a professor of international relations and strategic studies at the University of Lagos, Professor David Aworawo. Prof, thank you very much for giving us your time. I'll just jump on straight to suggestions that the nation is heading towards a one-party state as a result of these realignment, this defection that we are seeing. What are your thoughts?
Thank you for having me. It is too early to jump into that conclusion that Nigeria is heading towards a one-party state. Certainly, the defections to the APC have strengthened the party. They've expanded the scope of the party, the influence of the party, and all. But it is too early to begin to talk about a one-party state. There's a whole lot that will still happen between now and 2027. And the defections, though they have strengthened the APC and the chances of President Bola Tinubu winning 2027, but it does not guarantee it. It depends on what the opposition does. If they're able to find a common ground and form a viable coalition, what the APC has now might not even be as imposing as what the other side will have. So the defections, yes, they've strengthened the APC and the chances of President Bola Tinubu winning 2027. But by no means does it suggest that Nigeria is heading towards a one-party state.
But can the PDP survive? Can they survive what we are seeing from legal battles to infighting to leadership tussle? And now we have an entire structure moving. What are the chances, despite the tough talk, that the PDP will survive this and remain an opposition of repute?
Yes, it doesn't have to be the PDP. In the last election, the APC, the PDP, and the Labour Party only separated one another by just 1 million votes each, less than 1 million in one instance. And so when we are talking about, the viable opposition to the APC, it doesn't have to be the PDP. It could be the Labour Party. It could be some other, some other contraption that comes. These things can be formed very quickly. And what the point I'm making is that there's still a large number of, people, politicians, interests that are not in the APC right now. Even within the APC, there are individuals who are dissatisfied with what is happening, who are even saying that they will ensure that President Bola Tinubu does not win 2027. Just yesterday, there was one Jesu Tega or Nopasa who spoke to another channel, and he was saying that, look, they are in the APC, but they will work against President Bola Tinubu in 2027. So it doesn't have to be the PDP. The field out there is very vast.
All right, but what we have at the moment is that we see a situation, I guess, in all fairness, the argument that the country might be leaning towards a one-party state is because of the strength of the parties that are in existence in Nigeria at the moment. Labour Party gained some prominence with the 2023 election, but are they united? Just as divided as the PDP seems, it's what we have with the Labour Party. I want to come to you, Mr. Lawson, and still put the same question to get your thoughts on this one-party argument. Do you agree with the Prof that we are not leaning towards that as yet, that there are still opposition that can put up a good fight?
I want to agree completely with Prof. And I think for every good student of history, since 2015 that PDP lost power at the central, except for those who don't actually understand what is defined as opposition politics. PDP has never represented opposition politics in Nigeria since 2015. In actual fact, the moment PDP lost power in 2015 to the APC when Buhari came as the president, PDP has gone into intensive care units, trying to recuperate, which it never achieved to date. Between 2015, where Buhari was president in 2023, and between 2023 and now, it is the Nigerian people political party that have represented. So for those raising alarm about the drift towards a one-party state and the likes, I want to, in all sincerity, think they have not been following the trend. Okay. It's actually the first time we ever have a vocal opposition to the incumbent party in Nigeria was between 2022 and 2023 when the obedience movement started, when Mr. Peter Obi, vied for presidency, got the ticket of the Labour Party, and in an unprecedented manner created a third force in Nigeria.
Okay.
Never been in our history.
Mr. Lawson, I really would love you to.
So for me, the PDP does not symbolize the opposition. So even if all the PDP governors in Nigeria today decide to hate peace, to go to the APC,
Mr. Lawson, I'm afraid that's all the time we have. I want to say thank you very much to you and the professor for sparing the time to speak with us on this subject. Thank you.